The chaos Ferrari tried to hide has just been exposed for the entire world to hear, and it's far worse than anyone imagined. The Canadian Grand Prix was meant to be Ferrari's comeback moment, a weekend to silence the critics, to prove that the SF25 could deliver under pressure, and that the team was finally united behind its two superstars. But what unfolded in Montreal was nothing short of a disaster, a storm of confusion, mismanagement, and desperation that not only derailed their race, but pushed both Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc to their breaking point. And now the evidence is out. Leaked radio messages from both drivers have pulled back the curtain on a team in turmoil. Questioning pit calls mid-race, Hamilton baffled by a car falling apart beneath him. Mixed strategies, missed opportunities, and silence when they needed answers most. These weren't just tactical errors. They were the kind of blunders that fracture trust, ignite fury, and threaten to implode a season already hanging by a thread. Ferrari thought they could brush this under the rug. They were wrong, because what these radio messages reveal isn't just a mistake. It's a complete breakdown in communication between the drivers and the pit wall. And now the anger is boiling over. Leclerc feels unheard, Hamilton feels betrayed, and Ferrari, they're running out of places to hide. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us until the very end, because what you're about to hear isn't just radio. It's the sound of Ferrari coming undone. What made this meltdown even more spectacular was not just the strategic blunders, but how public the collapse became. Thanks to the now leaked radio messages, fans could hear every moment of disbelief, every second of miscommunication, every tone of rising fury in both Hamilton and Leclerc's voices. It wasn't just tension, it was a slow, audible disintegration of trust in real time. For Lewis Hamilton, the frustration wasn't just about being stuck behind traffic or having poor tire strategy. It was about not understanding why the car was behaving like a disaster. One of the most telling moments came when he radioed in, "Why is this car so slow?" It wasn't a rhetorical question. It was a genuine cry for help from a seven-time world champion who had been left in the dark. Moments later, he was practically shouting, "Out of power! Out of pace, boys!" It sounded less like a report and more like a resignation. He was at a loss. And when the team told him he was 25 seconds behind, he snapped, "Where have I lost 25 seconds?" That line alone, sharp, stunned, and filled with disbelief, summed up how disconnected he felt from the strategy unfolding around him. But it wasn't just the speed, or lack thereof, it was the physical state of the car. "I've got no rear," Hamilton reported. "Brake pedal is getting low. I can't stop the car." These weren't minor complaints. They were signs of a driver genuinely unsure whether he'd be able to finish the race at all. And even worse, his engineer's response was almost surreal. "It's quite balanced." Balanced? While Hamilton was struggling to brake, sliding off ideal lines and screaming for clarity? The disconnect was staggering. It painted the picture of a team that wasn't just slow. It was unaware of how bad things truly were inside the cockpit. And while Hamilton was losing patience and confidence lap after lap, Charles Leclerc was spiraling into his own strategic nightmare. Not because the drivers aren't fast, but because the people giving the orders are getting it so wrong. And now that these radio messages are out in the open, the world is listening. Fans are asking the same questions as the drivers. How did this happen? Who's making the calls? And most importantly, can Ferrari fix it before both of their stars lose faith for good? The fallout from this disaster won't just be internal, it's now public. The fans have heard it, the rivals have heard it, and perhaps most importantly, the Ferrari board has heard it. You don't need to be a strategist to realize what's happening. When two world-class drivers, one a seasoned legend, the other a longtime Scuderia favorite, are both questioning the calls, the communication, and the competence of the team live over the radio, it sends a message louder than any engine scream. Hamilton left Mercedes not just to chase one final title, but to become part of something historic, a revival, a comeback with Ferrari that would cement his legacy. Instead, he's found himself in a nightmare of mismanagement. And while he's stayed composed in public, the Canadian Grand Prix has exposed the cracks beneath the surface. The radio didn't lie. He's furious. He's confused, and most concerningly, he's starting to lose patience. Charles Leclerc, on the other hand, is no longer the quiet, loyal future of Ferrari. He's visibly tired of being let down. After years of trusting the process, of defending the team in front of the media, of shouldering the pressure with dignity, he's now speaking up, and not behind closed doors but in the heat of the race. His voice, like Hamilton's, is growing sharper, colder, more direct. What's next for Ferrari? That's the terrifying part. Because unless something changes fast, this won't just be a one-off. This could become the defining tone of the season, a campaign filled not with podiums and progress, but with leaks, doubts, and drama. The dream of a Hamilton super team will collapse, not because of the drivers, but because the team around them couldn't deliver when it mattered most. So if you're a Ferrari fan, you should be concerned. Because Montreal wasn't just a bad weekend, it was a warning. And if Ferrari doesn't act now, this could spiral into something far worse. Not just a lost season, but a broken project. So make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Because the next race might not just be about performance, it might be about survival. And trust us, you won't want to miss what happens next.